welcome to this session. Well, we are going to be focusing on personal leadership rather than organizational leadership for a slight departure in this session. And really, this session is all about learned fearlessness. Martin Seligman, one of the preeminent researchers in the emerging field of positive psychology, coined the term learned optimism. So I'm going to borrow with great respect from that and put a little spin on it and talk about learned fearlessness. Learned fearlessness. This session is really all about how you can reconnect with your true nature. You've heard me before talk about Michelangelo's masterpiece, David. You know the story behind it. Michelangelo saw a piece of discarded marble that no one else would touch. And he was given this piece of marble, and rather than seeing nothing in it, he saw everything in it. Rather than seeing it as a piece of garbage, he saw it as a rich opportunity. And he envisioned his masterpiece of David inside of this block of marble. And then here's what he did. He chipped away at all of the marble that was not David, that was not his masterpiece. And he was then left with one of the world's great pieces of art. And so in this session, I really want to offer you the metaphor of Michelangelo's David to revisit the idea that you really don't have to change. To be a world-class leader, a world-class human being, to be all that you want to be truly fearless. It's not about being someone that you currently are not. It's simply about stripping away all of the marble that's covering your best self, that's covering your David, that's covering your fearless nature. Well, I think there's two types of power. First of all, there's the power that the world around us sells to us. And here's what I mean by that. The general definition of power in our society, whether you live in Bogota, whether you live in Tokyo, whether you live in Mumbai, whether you live in New York City, the dominant value of this world around us is that power is defined by how much money you have in your bank account. The dominant value of the herd that a lot of us are following is that you are powerful if you have CEO on your business card, or you have a big house or a nice car, or you have prestige in society, then you are powerful. And what I truly believe is actually that's a very fleeting or dangerous form of power. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but the problem is if you lose your net worth, or you lose your title, or you lose your prestige, then you are left powerless. If you have based your identity on your power in the world around you and you lose that, then you're left with nothing. There's a much deeper, more sustainable form of power, and that's the power you have by virtue of who you are on the inside. It's the power you have by your character. It's the power you have, most importantly, by the connection with your best self, with your inner leader. And the more you can divorce yourself by worrying about how powerful you are in the world outside and connect more with that inner power that comes from your access to your fearlessness, your access to your genius, your access to your talents, your access to your honor, and who you truly are, the more you will not be shaken by the turbulence and the ups and downs from the world outside. I want to offer you a mental model. It's called the integrity gap. You've heard me talk about it before. Good coaching is revisiting the fundamentals, because success in many ways is a mastery around the fundamentals. The integrity gap is a very simple yet powerful idea. It's simply this. The greater the gap between your true nature and who you have become in order to please and fit into the world around you, the less your professional life and the less your personal life will work. So imagine a model. Imagine a piece of paper. You can draw it out right now. Pause the video if you like and draw out this circle on the left-hand part of your paper and call it your authentic self. Call it your true nature. Little circle, your true nature, your authentic self. And that's what you were born into. What is your authentic self? Well, that is the David underneath all the layers and the stone and marble covering who you truly are. And the stone and the marble in the metaphor of Michelangelo's David is really your doubts, your fears, your disbelief, your false assumptions, all the negativity that the world around you has sold to you. In other words, who you truly are right now is that masterpiece. It's genius. So let's first of all talk about what is your authentic self. Well, it's fearlessness. That's who you truly are underneath all the garbage and all the messes that you've stuffed over your thinking and your reality. Who you truly are is pure curiosity. It's pure passion. It's authenticity. It's integrity. Before perhaps the world around you said, don't be so honest. Don't be your true self. Don't give too much. I mean, the funny thing is, the less you worry about what's in it for you, the more your mind and energy and performance will be focused on doing the genius level work that will give you all those things that you want. So who we truly are under all the false beliefs is really genius. It's fearlessness. It's authenticity. It's honor. It's passion. It's curiosity. It's everything. And on that point about genius, I've shared a lot in past sessions about the work of Anders Ericsson and the emerging field of genius. And I was reading an article from Anders Ericsson, the preeminent researcher on the field of genius, in the Psychological Review. So this is hardcore science. And he said something that confirmed everything I've been saying. He said, the old myth that genius and exceptional performance is the result of genes is flawed. It's been disputed. It's been disproven. And now it's been realized that geniuses, whether that's a Kobe Bryant, whether it's a Picasso, whether it's a Mozart, whether it's a world-class golf champion, those people are not built differently from you and I. It's not that they have different genes. The real secret to their success is practice each day, persistence, and obsession for over 10 years. In other words, really, genius is the result, more than anything else, of practice. So we all can play a genius in what we do. See your work as your craft. See your work as your sport. And then every single day, while the rest of the world is distracted by many things, obsess around that one thing you want to be a genius at. Practice every day. Deliberate practice. Persistence is one of the secrets of genius for about 10 years. Okay, so the integrity gap model is really, you have your authentic self that you're born into. You're born into genius, really. That's what you're built to be. And then what happens from the moment you are born, your parents start telling you their values. Your parents and your teachers and the world around you and the media start bombarding you with the messages from the dominant society around you. Don't dream too big. Be practical. Don't take risks, you'll fail. Don't be too passionate. Don't speak truthfully. Don't chase your dreams. Don't work too hard. Don't reach for excellence because you'll get hurt or you might fail. Genius is the realm of exceptional people who were born with perfect teeth and different skin and different backgrounds from you. And what starts to happen is we get literally millions of these messages as we go through childhood, as we go through adolescence, as we go through adulthood, especially in this wired world of ours. And so really, part of the fight is to block out the noise of negativity so you remember your authentic self. So here's what happens. You are born into your authentic self. You're born into leadership. You're born into genius. But as we move through life, we pick up the values and the dominant beliefs and the ideas of the world around us, and we shift into victimhood. And we end up in what I call our social selves. And here's the big idea. The greater the gap between who you truly are, the David under the stone, under the marble, and your social self, the person you have become as a result of the process of enculturation, which is really taking on the stone and the doubt and the disbelief and the fear of the world around you, the greater the gap, the less your life will work. The bigger the integrity gap, the less energy you'll have, the less prosperity you will have, the less success you will experience, the less inner peace you will enjoy, the less health you will have. So really the job of leadership, the job of living a world-class life, the job of being exceptional is to first of all awaken to your true nature, and then notice how far you've gotten away from it, and then make the journey back by doing your inner work, by reclaiming and remembering your inner genius, your true nature, who you truly are, your authenticity, your genius, your talents, your true values, who you truly want to be in the world. I did a tweet this morning, and it was simply this: your beliefs, or I put it like this, the areas of your life that are working reflect the beliefs in your mind that are working. It's one of the most important things you'll ever hear coming out of my mouth. The areas of your life that are working are nothing more than reflections of the beliefs in your life that are working. So you can live, so your mind is almost like this lighthouse. And you can look at the areas of your life that are working in your life. Maybe it's your economic life, maybe it's your career, maybe it's your personal life, maybe it's your health. You can look at those areas of your life, and underneath that success reflects the beliefs in your life that are working. Conversely, you can look at the areas of your life that are not working, and underneath those you can see the beliefs that are not working. So that's an incredible way to transform your life. You just look at the areas of your outer life that are working, because all your outer life is nothing more than a mirror of your inner life. Here's another idea I want you to wrap your brain cells around. A belief, or let me put it this way, a truth that you might believe is really true. So a personal truth is nothing more than a thought you have repeated over and over again for many, many years until you have installed it as a personal truth for you. But what if what you think to be true is actually not a truth? It's just a belief that you adopted from your mother, your father, a teacher in grade 5, a peer, a friend, a TV show that you watched, and you repeated the thought over and over again since you've been a little kid, until it's so deeply ingrained within your thinking, you believe it to be true. And that truth, if it doesn't serve you, is actually limiting you. But you actually think it's a reality. And you can actually transform your life when you start to reevaluate the things you believe to be true, and you start to change your thinking. Because every time you challenge a truth that no longer serves you by thinking a different thought, you start the process of rewiring your brain. You start to rewire your thinking. You start to rewire the way you see the world. Well, I've offered you a lot of ideas in those past few moments. Let me get into some tactics right now.